She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Vina love? Sisters Vina D coming to you all from Vina Tima News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
A day or so ago, I was editing and I was like, you know what? Let me find something to watch on Netflix. Normally, it's like background noise because I'm focusing on editing. And I came across this show called Dubai Blink. And so I was like, you know what? I never really got into the Real Housewives of Dubai. I have yet to watch the show, but I do know of the girls, especially Kenya meeting, Chanel Ayan. And I've seen different things on, the internet, social media, and all of that. So I decided to give this show called Dubai Blink a chance. The first season came out, 8 episodes, and when I tell you, hot mess, one of those hot mess type of shows, but you can't stop watching it because it's amazing, even though it's messy. Absolutely. The premise of the show, same old different day, bunch of rich people. The camera is following them around as they navigate through their lives, careers, marriages, motherhood, fatherhood, engagements, drama, all of it. I'm not reviewing episode by episode. I'm going to talk about everything I saw through all of the 8 episodes and give my overall review. Now, if you are someone who watched the show and you're like, you know what, Vina, you missed something very important trying to fit 8 episodes into one review, then I might come back with a part 2. Or if I realize that I missed talking about something very important, then I will come back and do a part 2. Or I might just go back and review the episodes separately. I just did not want to make such commitment and not keep my word. So I'm just going to put it all in here. And because I'm doing my review on the entire show or 8 episodes, I'm going to be all over the place. So I want to start with Zena. Boss, stunning, everything, gorgeous, here for her, here for her, here for her. She's misunderstood, but I love her personality, her presence. When she walks in the room, she commands the room. She's the CEO of Highmark Real Estate. The thing about Zena is that even though she's a boss, she's beautiful, she's powerful, sometimes that strength and commanding the room like that when she walks in, it can be intimidating. And that's the reason why I said she's misunderstood, because it could come off as I'm better than you, or she's standoffish. One of those people where people will normally say, oh, you know what? I never really talked to you because I thought you were this person and that person. And then when they talk to you and got to know you, it's like, oh my goodness, you are such a sweetheart. That's exactly what she's experiencing. She and her husband have an amazing relationship. They've been married for 10 plus years. Her story is basically her trying to balance, work life and home life. And then there was one point in the series where someone created a fake profile on the dating app using her husband picture. She did not care because she trusts her husband. She decided to share that with some of the women on the show. And then, of course, they started to place doubts in her head. That girl look into that. From the business standpoint, she was showing houses and doing her thing. But in her personal life, trying to find a balance, being this great and amazing wife, great and amazing mother, and great and amazing CEO was becoming a difficult thing for her to do. And so even though someone using her husband's picture did not faze her at first, but then she started thinking, the fact that I'm working too much, maybe I am pushing my husband away. Maybe I am pushing my husband into the arms of other women. Maybe that profile is real and he's lying. She started to doubt herself especially when you start listening to other people. So she went and had this amazing conversation with her husband. No screaming, none of that. The communication was awesome. You know, she talked to him. How do you feel about me working so hard for the family? You know, working these long hours. Do you have a problem when you have to step up more to be with the children because I'm just doing too much at work? Are we okay? You know, are we okay? And of course, he told her they're fine and he understands. He has a job too, okay? He's doing his thing and he knows he's busy too and all of that. They will find a balance and get back to where they were, but that they're okay. Of course, he laughed and denied that it was, you know, him and that, of course, someone was using his picture, but they had a great conversation. He loved his wife. To him, she's a goddess. And I'm not saying that because a man loves his wife and, oh my God, she's so beautiful and she's a goddess. I'm so lucky and so blessed to have her. Doesn't mean that those same men can't turn around and be cheaters. But based on what I've witnessed with their relationship, they will be okay. Another thing that had people suspicious about their marriage and like, uh-oh, is there trouble in paradise, is because on Valentine's Day, she was doing a radio interview and her husband wasn't with her. He was on vacation with their son. So when the radio host, who I'm going to get to, called him, it's Valentine's Day and you are not with your wife. Are you crazy? And he was like, we've been married for 10 years. We've been together for a long time. And she was like, every day is Valentine's Day for us. He loves me. I would much rather have a husband who loves me, respects me. And, you know, she went down this list every day than a man who is cheating, but on Valentine's Day wants to bring me flowers and behave like a husband. Absolutely not. And he was like, our son is on vacation from school around this time. So this is the only time that I really have for us to go on vacation together and have that father and son moment. My wife knows we're fine. We're good. And basically, you know, mind your business. Don't worry about us. We've been together for so long that to us, this is just another day, even though it is a special day. But I show her that every day. So whether I show her that today or not, she gets the queen treatment every day. So we're good over here. Zena had other moments on the show, but I do want to introduce now her best friend, Safa. But before I get into Safa's story, here's a video of Zena, Safa, and a radio host, Chris, who's the one I was talking about that she was doing an interview with, and then he called her husband live on air. Here's the three of them talking about the show.
Thank you so much for the support of Dubai Bling. We love you. Now, I'll ask you this, though. People saying, is it scripted? What do you want to reply?
My reply is, if it was scripted, I would have found a better line than, I am the company. I am the company.
Stuff?
You can't fake this, baby.
Yeah, you can't. All right, Dubai Bling, we love you guys. We love both of these girls. We love you guys for watching as well. We'll catch you soon.
Zena did get messy, okay? I know sometimes I say Zena, but it's Zena. She did get messy. We will get to that as well, but I want to get into her best friend story. Safa. Safa is a fashion designer. She's a wife and a mother, and she is very materialistic and a drama queen. I don't know if she's doing all of this for the show, hoping for a season 2 and hoping that they bring her back. But some of her actions just left me looking around like, girl, why? For example, going crazy on the phone with her friend Zena. Zena rushing over there thinking something bad happened. Oh my gosh, they're arguing. Let me go and be with my friend. She gets there all concerned. And then she's talking about, oh, the argument was about space. I need more closet space. And Zena just looking around like, really? Are you serious right now? You did all of that and got me here for some closet space? I mean, then again, it is a show, so I get it. She had to work anyways and film, so let us not pretend. But girl, really? Another thing is, I don't like the way how she speaks to her husband. She behaves like a spoiled brat. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a few of the moments that just had me giving her the side eye, like, girl, okay, you know you can still have drama without disrespecting your husband and embarrassing the family. Come on now, are you putting on for the cameras? What's going on? So she wants more space, okay? So the scene starts, she's throwing all of his clothes on the floor. Girl, stop. You could have had a conversation with your husband, baby, can I talk to you? I understand that show needs drama and spice, but not at the expense of you disrespecting your husband. Baby, we need more space. We are outgrowing this house. Her husband wants to keep the current home that they're living in because it holds sentimental value. And so he's not trying to leave that home. He's willing to add to the home. So they do have a solution for now. You want more space, we can add to the house until we find something that I feel like, okay, it's worth leaving this house for. The yelling, the screaming, throwing my clothes on the floor because you don't have enough closet space. Girl, really? So that's one incident. Their second issue is he's ready for more children, but she's not ready, okay? They are well off financially. They're doing great, but she doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. She have her own career. She have things that she wants to accomplish for herself. She's a fashion designer. She had a fashion show with fashion, okay, during the season. And based on what I've read in different articles, she's doing extremely well with her fashion line. So congratulations to you, girl. You did it. We are all proud of you, okay? But her husband is like, okay, I understand what you're doing, but let's have more children. She's like, absolutely, let's have more children, but give me a year, 2 years, or, give me time because my career is getting off the ground. I'm doing great, so give me time. So they were going back and forth with that. She also said that during her first pregnancy, there were some complications. So that made her nervous about going through that all over again. And so she started looking into, possibly getting a surrogate. She said, if I can get a surrogate to carry the child for me, I don't have to put my body through that anymore. That would be great. So she did more research. She planned a surprise dinner with her husband and some friends. And basically the whole dinner was to surprise him and say, hey, baby, I'm ready for more children like you are, but I'm not ready or willing to carry the child. Let's look into getting a surrogate to do that for us. So he looked confused. Why is my wife having such important conversation and surprising me with something like this with absolutely no conversation, no, okay, baby, I agree. We're on the same page, nothing. So he's confused and he's saying, absolutely not. That's not what I want for religious reasons. And two, we didn't even go to the doctor yet. No doctor told you you can't carry kids, you can't have kids. What are you doing? So he looked confused and he starts questioning her. She goes off in front of the friends, completely disrespectful, rude, and he's just sitting there like, what is happening? He's responding too now. He's not just sitting there like a punk, like, He's responding, but it's just like, you don't do that in front of company. You don't make your husband feel small. Girl, don't lose your man because of Netflix, child. If she pulled her husband to the side and said, baby, I love you. We good. We solid, but we need a season 2. I'm doing this for ratings. So when I go in on you, don't take it personal. We good. That's one thing. Because I'm just like, girl, you're doing too much. They have an argument. That scene is over. She listens to him. They go to the doctor. They check everything. The doctor said, there's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. You're perfectly healthy to carry a child. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're good. Before all of that happened, she had missed her period for 2 weeks. And, Xana went and got a pregnancy test to make sure that she wasn't pregnant. She said, I know my body. I'm just stressed. She wasn't pregnant. The doctor also confirmed it that she wasn't pregnant, but that she was okay to go ahead and, have a child. Basically, she launched her collection. Everything is going good. At the end of it all, she's pregnant again, and, congratulations to them. But even her friend, once again, back to Xana, when she was carrying on about a possibly new home that she took them to, the house was big and everything, but it wasn't the forever home that they were or are looking for. And so her husband wasn't on board with, the house and everything. And she's just screaming at him in front of Xana and the realtor, make a deposit. Like, just be obnoxious. And Xana looked at her and basically told her, once again, girl, relax. That's not how you talk to your man. She gave her one of those looks, like exactly what I just said. Don't lose your good man because of cameras and TV, girl. Don't do that. If this is not fake and you're not putting on for the camera, then don't lose your amazing husband because of TV. And she was able to reel her in, and she was able to calm down and have a decent conversation. Lastly, walking in the store and purchasing a necklace that the lady said was $10 million. They're dollars. If you transfer that into US dollars, it's lower, but it's still a lot of money. I'm not saying that she and her husband couldn't or can't afford the jewelry, but for a man who's basically saying, let's add on to this house, I'm not trying to waste money, just buy houses here and there, even though he did purchase her a beautiful condo and she was so ungrateful. That part also was like, girl, what are you doing? Okay, a lot. She was just team too much. But back to the jewelry. She did not buy that jewelry. It was all for TV. I'm going to say allegedly, but it was all for TV. Okay, let me just pull on for the camera. And the moment production yelled cut, she cut it right off her neck and left it in that store. All jokes, but I'm serious. Now let's go back to the condo. Because she's been arguing with her husband so much and just doing too much. I mean, he planned a romantic dinner for her, for the both of them to reconnect because there's been so much tension. They were on their way to a friend's event and he basically told her, you don't have any more surprises for me, right? You're not about to take me around people and embarrass me again. She got upset. He got upset. He got out of the car. Basically, because of that, they did not go to that event. So they were just having a lot of back and forth and tension. So she probably, in her mind, because she loved to create things in her mind, felt like, wait a minute, are we separating? Why is my husband buying me an apartment? I'm not living here. I'm not moving here. So she was a little confused. So I understand her reaction. But even after he confirmed that we're good, I'm not leaving you, our marriage is still good, I'm not going anywhere, she still didn't give him the reaction that someone would give someone after they did something amazing for you. Okay, I think I covered majority of the things in her life. So let's move on. Her former friend, Ibrahim. He's a businessman, and according to different articles, he's the richest on their cast. But he is full of drama. Now, his mother been trying to find him a beautiful girl, a woman that he could settle down with. No one is working out for him. And Twitter seems to think, after watching the show, there's a reason why he cannot find a decent woman to settle down with. Twitter said it. I didn't. However way you want to live your life, go ahead and do it. I don't care. I'm not judging anyone. So don't come for me. Let's get into these tweets. Ibrahim needs to let his mom know that it's not a wife that he wants. And actually, I'm going to allow you all to read the rest of the tweets yourself. Just put me on pause if me talking is being a distraction, and just read a few more and we're going to get back into it. And since her name was brought up in the tweet on the screen, let's get into Farhana. Farhana is a social media influencer. She's going through a divorce and she's a single mom just trying to make it, okay? So she gets, sponsorships and she's doing her thing on social media. But majority of the time when she invites her rich friends, her wealthy friends, they feel like they're being used for her sponsor events. They feel like it's not genuine. She's not genuinely inviting them there because she cares about them, because she misses them, because she really wants to have a moment with them. She's just inviting them to then put a camera in their face and to show the social media, look who I'm hanging with, the who's who of Dubai, they mess with me and all of that. So Zaina told her that to her face. She felt like, she was being used. But the next time you have one of these events, I probably won't come, because Farhana kept celebrating her birthday, and each birthday that she celebrated, the events were sponsored. So basically she's having parties not for a genuine reason, but just to get sponsored, to make money from the things that she was sponsored, and then to use her rich friends. That's what they said, okay? And so that led to the drama between Safa, Zaina, and Farhana. Before that moment, Zaina and Farhana already had a moment where she showed up to a fashion show and did not say hello, and that rubbed Zaina the wrong way, and so she feels like Farhana is fake. So the whole part about I might not come to events that you do because of all of the reasons I mentioned. Zaina said that to Farhana's face. So there was no let me smile in her face, pretend like I'm okay with being here, and then go behind her back and talk about her. She told her all of that to her face. So Farhana event is over and they are shooting a different scene, and this time is Safa, is Zaina, is Ibrahim, and there's a few more people from the show. They're having a conversation and they're talking about what Zaina said at Farhana's party. And then in the midst of the conversation, Ibrahim leaves the table. He goes and he calls Farhana and he's telling her play by play, word for word, bar for bar, everything that's going on at the table, how they're gossiping about you, they're talking about you, basically adding fuel to the fire. And nothing Zaina is saying is something that she did not already say to her face. So it's not like you're calling her and telling her tea. He wanted drama and he was successful. Before we get into the other drama that happened, let me introduce this person because she's a part of the drama. LJ was set up on a blind date with Ibrahim. Their date was very dry. She wasn't interested in him at all. He called her the typical pretty face, no brains, his words, type of female. It was just an awkward and terrible date. LJ was married to a billionaire. They have 2 kids. He had cancer and passed away a few years ago. May his soul rest in peace. So as far as the lavish lifestyle, being taken care of, all of that, and money, that's not something that impressed her because she was married once again to a billionaire and is accustomed to a lifestyle like that. Also, let me add that her husband was 30 years older than her. So instantly people assume that she's a billionaire too because her husband passed away. She have 2 kids, so she inherited his fortune. No, she got $1 million from his estate, according to the article I read. Of course, his children with her will be taken care of forever. Okay, but as far as what she was awarded, it was $1 million. Now, I also read from that article that her net worth is $4 million. So she was able to invest her money well. Now she's worth $4 million, allegedly. So for those who assume that she inherited his $1 billion fortune, she did not, but she is still doing well for herself. And like I said, excluding what she was awarded by his estate, the children are well taken care of, so they will be just fine. Another part of LJ's story is her mother and father got a divorce, and her mother chose to leave to go and live her own life and completely abandon her daughter. She's not in her daughter's life at all. Now, instead of her daughter holding animosity and saying, you know what, that's her loss, I don't care, I'm going to live my life, she still wants a relationship with her mom. She wants to ask the questions, you know, why? Why did you leave me? She wants closure and all of that. So she's working on reconnecting with her mom. I will introduce another person who's helping her, but I will do that later because I want to get back to the drama I was talking about. Okay, so Farhana and LJ, they have an issue already. They were friends. And then apparently LJ did something on social media that insulted Farhana, so they had a falling out. And, you know, it was this big deal. But Ibrahim was able to bring them back together to have a conversation. And so they are working on rebuilding their friendship because it's just awkward having different events. And these 2 people are coming just to have arguments and storm off and all of that, okay? So they were able to fix that relationship. But before they fixed that relationship, LJ had an event in the Dorset. So everybody, you know, showed up to have a great time. But Dania, I think it's Dania, the wife of DJ Bliss, decided to insert herself in the drama. Farhana wasn't invited. However, Dania showed up with Farhana to LJ's event talking about, oh, we have a photo shoot to do, so I figured we could come and do the photo shoot and then I would join the rest of the group later. Girl, you knew what you were doing. Of all of the places you all could have gone for the photo shoot, you showed up at the same location during her event. It's a reality TV show. We're not dumb. Even if she wasn't being messy, production told her where you all were. Come on now. Anyways, she shows up with Farhana. That leads to drama. The girl starts going back and forth, and it's just, like I said, a hot mess. Now, even though she showed up with Dania, Zaina and Safar figure out that it was Ibrahim who called Farhana from their dinner to start drama. And so because he did that, they're like, okay, he had to have dropped the location for Farhana to come here and start some mess. Mind you, all of this happened before Farhana and LJ had their conversation to resolve their issues. So just the same old petty drama like housewives, child. When Safa and Zaina went to Ibrahim's business to confront him, they had a conversation with him. They had a tiny argument here and there, but it did not escalate to this level of, fighting or anything. They said what they had to say, and they left his place of business, okay? So Ibrahim then thought, oh, okay, you want to play that game, Zaina. You want to come to my business. Even though Safa was there, he basically ignored Safa, didn't go after her, didn't retaliate against her because Zaina is the top dog. She's the big dog, and if I go after her, that's going to give me more airtime or whatever. So he says, oh, you want to come to my place of business and cause trouble? Watch me. I'm going to do the same to you. He goes to her company. He shows up once again with Dania, the same one, the messy one that brought Farhana to LJ event to start drama. Now, of course, she has security and all of that and could have had him escorted out of the building, but they are filming a show, so she tolerated him for some time. So he's in her office, raising his voice at her, arguing, I'm here to buy your company, and just insulting her and all of that. And, she's keeping her cool. She's responding, but she's not worked up. She's not raising her voice. She's not standing up. She stays seated the whole time, laughing at them. Ibrahim is in her face talking about, I'm here to buy a company. He's, screaming insults at her. And she's just sitting there like the boss that she is. And she's like, I am the company. I am the company. She's not really giving him the reaction that he's looking for because she's laughing at him. She's clapping. She's saying bravo. She's cheering. Basically, you wanted your moment. You got it. She's not as angry as he wanted her to be. So he was disappointed. And here comes Dania adding fuel to the fire, sending insults her way and all of that. And she stood her ground. She just sat there at her desk and watched them make a fool out of themselves. The argument, whatever happened, they were about to leave. Dania then says, I can't find the trash, so I'm just going to leave my coffee at the corner of her desk. Being messy. Take your coffee with you, girl. So when Zaina saw that, she was like, absolutely not. And went to flick, basically push the cup off her desk. My office is not your trash. And so she thought that she was about to pick up the coffee and threw it on her. So she reacted by grabbing the coffee and throwing it on Zaina and across the desk. That's when Zaina grabbed her hair and dragged her across the desk. And she was in the right. You don't come in my office and in my personal space and threaten me. You don't throw hot chocolate on me. Even if I would have pushed the cup off my desk, it would have fell on the floor because the both of you were walking out. Your backs were turned. You picking up the cup of a hot coffee, putting it in the air, about to throw it on me or on my face. I absolutely have to protect myself. So that's when she lifted her hand to protect herself. And of course, her hair was there and she grabbed her hair. They eventually left her office. And then Dania, of course, wants to play the victim as if she was randomly attacked and physically assaulted when she brought all of this on herself. She calls her husband, don't get mad, and she tells him the story. Oh, she physically assaulted me. I'm the victim. No, girl, you went in her office looking for trouble, and you got exactly what you deserve. The end. You are not the victim. Just a hot mess. But Ibrahim caused all of this drama. They should not have gone to her office. Now, I understand Zaina and Safa should not have gone to his place of work either to start drama, but they had a conversation, confronted him, and they left. No one got physically assaulted. It did not go that far, okay? So this chick right here, she basically blacked out. She's going through it with her husband, Bliss. He's a DJ. Females be all over him. She's going through her jealousy period and all of that. And so she basically released her stress from whatever that's going on in her marriage on Zaina, all right? He as in her husband, tried to put her mind at ease. He wrote her a love song on Valentine's Day, bought her jewelry, brought her to the studio, played a love song that he wrote and performed it for her, gave her a present, but they ended up arguing as well, okay? So she's going through it with her marriage, but they're still together and they're making it work. The scene with DJ Blaze and Shaggy looks like a paid appearance. I'm not saying he doesn't know him, but he was just, I just woke up from sleep, or I'm tired, I'm not interested. It was an awkward conversation. He has a song and apparently Shaggy is on it. And so they had that brief conversation. Then they ended up on a yacht to celebrate the song and possibly include their friends in the music video and all of that. Another argument happened on the yacht. LJ called out Ibrahim and Dania, told them they were wrong. And, she expressed herself. I'm trying to end this now because we're going over 30 minutes. Dania tried to have a conversation with Safa. Safa doesn't want to talk to her. I'm just here to support my husband, who's friends with your husband. You try to physically assault my friend. I have absolutely nothing for you. So she paid her dust. Even though I chose Zaina as the leader of the show because her presence is so powerful, there's another person who brings an amazing balance to the show. She's in the middle of everybody, so that means her power and her presence is also very well known. I think her name is pronounced Lojane. She's very positive. She's all about women empowerment. She's all about, giving back. She had a charity event. We're going to talk about that. She was even the one helping LJ reconnect with her mother. She's trying to surprise LJ by flying her mother out to them, but her mother got a new job and didn't have time off, so she couldn't leave. She's just a sweetheart, living her life, not being involved in all of the drama and things like that. A family woman, a businesswoman, one of her brothers are living with her. As you can see on the screen, she has over 10 million followers on Instagram. So she's doing her thing. She's a TV presenter. She's moving into acting. So she's really a well-rounded person. At her charity event, Ibrahim decided to use her charity event to publicly apologize to Zaina because his mother encouraged him to do so. Zaina met him halfway and gave him a hug because she thought he was being sincere, but come to find out he wasn't being sincere at all. He just used that platform for a moment for himself, and so now he and Zaina are right back at the same place. Another person that I have yet to introduce is radio host Chris Fade, okay? You all saw him at the beginning of the video. He interviewed Zaina and Safa. He was married before, divorced. He's married again, but during the show, they were planning their wedding. His story on the show is basically he showed up with $300 and now he's a millionaire. And the tweet on the screen, exactly. Like me packing my bags, going to Dubai with $300. So very inspirational. His now wife was his assistant for a few years. They started dating and he basically promoted her to run one of his companies. And now they're getting married on the show. They are married, but during the show, they were getting married, going through marriage counseling because their communication was just completely off and all over the place. Also, with her trying to plan a wedding and balance running a company, it became too much for her and for the both of them. So that led into a lot of arguments. Regardless of all of the hot mess, they did get married. So congratulations to them. And they are still married. His parents are amazing and so proud of their son. Her story was very sad. Her mother passed away. She said her mother had a heart attack while giving birth to her, and she was basically in a coma for a long time. So her mother's body laying there, she felt her mother's presence. But as far as having a mother who could walk and take her to school and just do the things that mothers and daughters do, she did not get that opportunity to experience that with her mom. And of course, she was very emotional because every daughter wants their mother there for their wedding day. So strong woman, and I do wish her absolutely nothing but the best. Now, I did mention the video call with DJ Blaze and Shaggy. Shaggy said that, listen, I can't come to Dubai to shoot a music video. I'm too busy right now. So DJ Blaze and his wife, who called herself Diva D, but her name is Danya, they basically, their excuse for missing the wedding was that they had to travel to where Shaggy was to get a shot of him so that they could then put that in the music video, and that's why they missed the wedding. Well, a few people complained about her violent behavior and the fact that she could just black out, because that's what she told her husband, that she blacked out and don't remember what happened after the coffee situation in Zaynab's office. So maybe some of the people said, if she can black out because she's that angry, I don't want her at my wedding. It's possible. So while everyone is celebrating love and having a great time at this wedding, here goes Ibrahim once again, grabbing his phone, calling Danya to tell her, oh, the girls are over here talking about you. I didn't see anyone talking about her. They talk about situations, but not in a way of, let's make this whole wedding about her and drag her. He is just so messy. Okay, so that was the finale, but there's one more person that I want to talk about. He was in and out of the show, but he was on the show. I think his name is Fatty or something like that. He claims to be DJ Khaled's cousin. All right, so he came on the show, very nice, successful. Everything is going great, okay? He showed some interest in LJ. He asked her out on a date. She said, you know what? Going on a date just sounds so intense to me. How about we do a group date where other people are there, and depending on the vibe that I get from the group date and how comfortable I am with you, maybe I will give you a chance. But let's do the group date first and see what happens, okay? She could have shut that man down right there when he asked her out on a date. I'm not interested at all right now. So, maybe not, and just stand on it, okay? But no, she said, okay, let's do a group date and see what happens. They get to the group date. Zaynab couldn't come. She was stuck at work, so her husband came to represent them. But before her husband arrived, LJ arrived first, and she had a disgusting attitude. She was very mean to him, shut him down. There's a way to do things. You can still tell someone, I'm not interested in you, without being a complete jerk. So his ego was bruised. Now, all he had to say was, you know what? I put myself out there. I thought she was an amazing girl. She just showed me her true colors. It's all good. On to the next. He would have been respected for moving that way, her loss, whatever. But his ego was so bruised that the comments he made after that made her go from being the villain to him being the villain. So basically he said something along the lines of, she's single with 2 kids, so she should be grateful that there's even a man out there trying to take her on a date because her kids are baggage. Most men are not trying to even look in that direction with a woman who's coming with 2 kids. Okay, he got dragged all over social media. So in as much as she was rude, it was almost like she dodged a bullet if you're already seeing her children as baggage and not as these innocent, amazing souls that you cannot wait to be a part of their lives. And now he's moved his interest to Farhana. But Farhana is also a single mom, okay, going through a divorce. Is her child baggage as well? Hot mess. We shall see in season 2. Now, Netflix is known for canceling great shows. So hopefully they bring them back for season 2, because the other reality shows that they are bringing back for season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this one deserves to come back. So they would definitely have a season 2. Let's get into a few more of these tweets and I'm going to end it. LJ is such a vibe, a rich, unbothered B-word. I love her. Ibrahim on Dubai Blink. Netflix is just like Ken on Blink Empire. There has to be that one guy that gossips, and I'm here for it. Safa was wrong announcing surrogacy to her friends without discussing it with her husband. First, I talked about that already. I love Dubai Blink. It's exactly my kind of ridiculous reality TV. Speaking of Safa, go ahead and read that tweet on the screen. I'm not saying that she and her husband can't or couldn't afford the jewelry, but I know that man wasn't about to waste all that money, or she wasn't about to waste all that money on jewelry, okay? Even if you were to transfer what the lady said into US dollars, it was still a lot of money. I think that was all for show. She put it on, and I'm sure when production screamed cut, she took that off and put it right back on the shelf or wherever it was. Or she did purchase it, but the price that was said on TV wasn't the actual price, and it just did that, to boost up the whole I'm wealthy. I'm not saying they're not, but girl, no. I suspect that was BS, but who knows? Do you really believe she did? That's just a publicity stunt for exactly the company. I think it's all for show. So I'm not the only one. In this moment right here with Danya calling someone fake, come on, girl, look in that mirror again. Pick it up, okay? Hot mess. And of course, we already talked about how amazing Login was and is on the show. So the last tweets on the screen, I already discussed it, the office situation and Fatty being a sore loser. And so go ahead and read those for yourself. So overall, it was a hot mess of goodness, if that makes sense, okay? I think I already mentioned this, but if I didn't, Safa's reaction to her husband buying her a condo, girl, really be grateful, okay? I know she was thrown off thinking that he was separating, from her and telling her, this is your new home now. This is your home. I'm going to live in the house, but, I'm done. This is yours, because, she be creating things in her mind. But even after she figured out that it was a gift, just something of her own to have, for herself, she can rent it out or do whatever. She was still not as grateful as people expected her to be, but maybe she's used to the lavish presents that to her, it was just another day. It must be nice. It was nice to see Lojane's mother and also to learn more about her upbringing and her own story. But anyways, I'm wishing all of you well and take care. Now, loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also, turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.